promise kept builds trust. An unkept promise erodes the ability, the potential for trust. I'm reading this book, U Squared, and the first section of this book is called The Promise. This first section encourages a building of, or better yet, the acquiring of a new self-awareness, a new awareness in general, the potential, the capability for a trajectory shift. And I think this is what a lot of people need to hear, that life can change for them and for the better. I want change for myself and for the better. And so it caused me to think of this statement that Dr. Tony Evans shares, and where he says, if all you see is what you see, I believe it goes, then you will never see all there is to be seen. Now, being a pastor, you know there are spiritual applications for that statement. I looked at it, not dismissing the spiritual, from a mental space, and thinking about the fact of, if we're in a certain predicament, if we live in a certain neighborhood, or have had certain experiences that have, in our minds, disqualified us from the visions, the dreams, the aspirations for a better life, we can't see past that. We can't see past the unfortunate. We can't see past the unfortunate occurrences, the trauma, the inconveniences, the unplanned occurrences, all these things. But the book doesn't speak on that. It just speaks on having a substantial increase forward, upward, an improved quality of life, to put it mildly. And it encourages that this is possible. And it's not just for the rich. It's not just for those who come from an educated background, but for anyone. And so part of the reason why I'm reading this book is because I want to see what it's all about. I've heard a number of people talk about this book, and it's just like, is there anything to it? And it causes me to think how many of us have actually settled for the lives that we are currently living. I'm sure I've thrown things away. Well, I'm not going to dive into that at this point, but I'm sure we all have. But there's the potential for more. There's the potential for better. There's the potential for greater, better life experiences, better relationships, better vacations, better pay, better health. But it requires us to make application of principles, of the knowledge, of things that we haven't thought about, of things that we haven't done yet in order to get there. And so I'm excited for this. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for myself. I'm going to be putting these things that I learned into practice, even if it's just something minor. Because like Myron talks about, Myron Golden, about the rest of your life being the best of your life. That's possible for all of us. But if we don't believe it, if we don't take the time to think about what it is that we want and where we want to go, it doesn't sound like it's going to come to a theater near you. Should have never tried that. Oh well, went for it. But yeah, it doesn't sound like that's going to be your reality. So one of the things I thought about when it comes to a thought process when it comes to thinking about life, when it comes to thinking about the things that spur us forward, is the Bible says, I believe this is properly quoted, hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when desire cometh, it is a tree of life. And so, how many of us have taken that into consideration? Meaning, how many of us have actually let hope fall away, and it has tainted our view of the world? I can't speak for you, but we've seen this time and time again with our family, with our friends, with ourselves, with our parents, and how they had a dream to do something and they put it to the side and never picked it back up. Don't let that be you. Be the person, especially if you have children, be the person. If you don't have children, be the person, because they're counting on you. When they say, my mom did this, my dad did this, I saw them change from this to that. Maybe getting the better job, maybe going for the promotion, maybe starting their own business, whatever the case may be. Because they did that, their children are inspired to say, hey, I have a dream to be an astronaut. Maybe not an astronaut, maybe a YouTuber, maybe not a YouTuber, maybe, I don't know, a bioengineer, whatever that job actually may be. Don't quote me on that. They can do it. It maybe take time, energy, money, connections. It's all doable. It's all possible. But sometimes because we don't see it, we can't believe it. And so if you can give them something to believe, your friends, your family, your coworkers, total strangers, do it. Make that promise to yourself to say, hey, this is something that I'm going to do, and then go do it. Don't back out, because the promise is a commitment. And if you make a commitment to yourself and then back out, how can anybody else trust you if you're making a commitment to them? I don't see how that's feasible. I don't see that that's possible. It's not a good look. It's an erosion of character for sure, because you may have the best of intentions, but with no follow through, they're just empty words. You're basically lying to individuals, especially when you're willfully saying, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm not going to go for it because it seems hard, because it seems difficult, because it seems unattainable. Okay? It's a far better thing that you do if you go for something and fail, supposedly, than for you to never go at all and have the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and wishing on your deathbed and all that nonsense. Don't let that be your story. Don't let that be your story. We're going to turn in the other direction now because I don't feel like being barked at today. I just don't. So I'm head back up the street. But before I go, I'm going to leave you with this. If you're on this journey with me, continue. I'm going to pull whatever nuggets I can out of this, whatever it causes me to think of, whatever wisdom it imparts, whatever things that are actually possible for making application of, I'll bring it to you. Because I want to win, but I actually want you to win. So come with me on this journey. Don't pull out no popcorn, nothing like that. We shouldn't be here for that long. But I encourage each and every one of you to think about your life a little bit differently. Think about the people who are counting on you, who could potentially count on you, who say, think about the people who you look up to, who you admire, who you find inspirational. Be an inspiration to somebody else. It should have a ripple effect. So, I know it was kind of a ways from the book, but this book caused me to think about a lot of things. Any progression I have, any advancements I make, I'll be sharing that with you, of course, within reason. And yeah, so I'm excited. Until next time, peace.